Welcome back to Sources of Magic. I'm really glad that you joined us again today. We are still doing word dissection, and we have just done a video on the word attach, which turned out really cool. With the word attach on our word dissection, what we broke it down to was that attachment is the arrival to keep tabs on something that is running. It's the arrival to monitor or keep track of something. So this we wanted to revisit again so that we can go on to our next word, which is detachment. All right. So knowing about detachment, it helps to know about detachment. Now, when we break down the word detachment, we are following the same rules where if any word inside of the word you're dissecting exists, you pull that out. Now, the words that I see exist in here are me, and as we learned before in the video previously, tack is a word, and then D, which means like of or from, or how I'm going to use it is actually remove, like a removal. So D means to take away. And then we have NT that's left. So let's drop the words down that we have dissected out first. So we have D, which we're going to give it the rule of removal. It could also be of. Then we have tack, which we learned is monitor or gauge, measure, and there was one more, keep tabs on. Then we have me, which I'm going to use it as its self-explanatory word of me. And then left over we have NT. So the first dissection of detachment is the removal of whatever it is that you are monitoring. Now we have these two letters left over, and when we sit with them, they don't make sense. Like NT doesn't make sense. So can we make another word with it? Now we're going to start to add letters. Okay. Now NT, I'm like, if I'm sounding it out, to me it sounds like it's saying NT, like NT. So I'm just kind of following that down, and I'm using my audio, right? So it sounds like NT. Now NT is, it could be entry, but I could add in an R, entry. So does that make sense to our dissection? The removal of whatever you are monitoring. Entry, so into, entry, into, not sure. Doesn't make sense yet. So my soul, my heart is not elated. It's not having an aha moment. So let's cross that out. Let's go back to NT. NT, and MT, and I wonder if it sounds like empty, empty, empty. That makes sense to me. So just with the audio of it, I have pulled out the word empty. So NT from now on could truly be the cousin of the word empty. So whenever you find a word that has a separate meaning from nothing, you could make it a rule that now NT will most often or always likely mean empty. That now becomes your rule for dissection. Just like the rules of adding letters, pulling out words that already exist, using different languages, like Latin, Spanish, etc. Okay, so this now can become a new rule for you, that NT means empty. So what do we have now? When we look at the word detachment, detachment now to me can always mean that it is the removal of something I'm monitoring or something I'm keeping tabs on. It's the removal of it from me, leaving me empty. Now, being left empty is most likely not a great thing. However, when you have a full cup, and maybe it's not all good, maybe there's some stuff in there. When you empty it out, that's a good thing, right? So that's a good thing, to empty out your monitoring, to empty out your tabs that you've kept on, to empty yourself. Because we know that when you are now empty, and maybe there's still a little bit in there because maybe it was quite hurtful, we have no idea. What you have left is room to grow. You have now made space. You've made space to fill it with something. What are you going to fill it with? Time, love, peace, solidarity, company, a new attachment, an old attachment, whatever suits you. Okay? All right, so that is one version of detachment, and I like it. That sits very well with me. It sits very well to empty out what I've monitored, to empty out what I've kept tabs on, to just clear me, right? So just clear me. Empty it out, clear me. I get that. Now, what I also want to show you is my second version of detachment. This kind of morphed into this. All right. So as you know, when we first start out with a word, we pull out words that already exist. Now, I actually pulled out this word here. Okay. All right, and let's drop it down the words we've pulled out. So D, which I'm using still again as removal. Now I'm leaving the T, so he has its own little line. Now the A, the ack, or aish, or ack, me, and then NT comes down. Now we can also add letters. I'm going to add a letter to aish, which now reads ache. Because as we know, detachment, the reason you're having to detach from something most likely is because it's causing you pain, or because there's a need for change. So there's something new coming into your life, and your guides, they have a different plan for you, and it's now time to detach from something, correct? Friends moving to a new city, maybe it's time for a different job, so you need to detach from your old job, and it's a little easier to detach in stages, right? So we're not necessarily detaching from the whole job right here, right? So you want a new job, but you love your coworkers, or you love the work you do, whatever's happening. Your first step is not to leave the job, right? It's not to just jump ship and detach instantly. Your first step might be to become okay with leaving your desk. And second step might be okay with understanding you have to give back maybe some company cards, company car, whatever it is. So you're going to detach in stages, right? The end goal is your new job, but there's a lot of steps up into that, right? So detachment comes along the way. So right here, now I can see how this whole bit right here, it's already with only 3 steps moving from your old job into your new job. These 3 steps already look mixed up and like condensed and messy, right? So that's going to help me with my sentence here with my dissection. So let's pull out what we have again. I'm going to do another drop down. So the words that make understanding to form a sentence is the D, ache, me. That I understand. If I'm going to de-ache myself, it means I'm in pain. It means I'm feeling discomfort, right? I'm going to jump into this new version, or I have to let go of something and already I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to feel uncomfortable. So I want to de-ache me. I want to remove my emotions from the situation, which truly is all detachment is. It just means that your emotions got caught up in it and it's time to pull back. That's all detachment is. Now we do have left some letters, so we're not done yet. And this is where I got really excited because the letters left are T and T. Now some of you might have already heard that the letters left are T and T. Before in our dissection, we used NT as empty. So we could continue that rule out now, but I'm just showing a different version. I'm seeing that the letters left are T and T. And that one really rung the bell for me. As you can see, all of this is messy, right? It's getting compacted, it's getting full, right? And what normally happens when things get full, right? They spill over. Just like our cup before. We had some, we wanted to empty the cup out on the last page. So this is a different version of emptying. And when I do work with people, when we get to detachment, it is a very difficult thing to do. It's the easiest thing to do, such as letting go is the easiest thing to do, but it's the hardest thing to get there. So when we dissect this word out, and I just say that slowly you need to de-ache yourself from the bomb, that's a little easier, right? De-ache me from the bomb. Meaning, I don't want all of this to explode. I don't want to have to experience everything today. I just need to de-ache myself from the bomb. And that one really resonated with me. It holds true, and this is the one that I like over this one here, which you are basically clearing, or you are, where did we go? You are emptying yourself from monitoring or keeping tabs on something. So I really liked the bomb one because life more often than not gets messy. Life definitely gets a little nuclear, and you're in it to the depths of the bottom of the pit before you normally seek help, right? So if we do it slowly and we just de-ache ourselves, that's a little easier to manage and maintain rather than just simply detaching. Like, what does detachment mean, right? How do I detach? How do I let go? How do I get there? And it's just the roller coaster, right? But all I'm asking you is to just stop hurting about it. That's all. We're not doing anything else. The only thing we're doing today is we're just stopping the hurt. That's all. Everything's still there. It still exists. The bomb is still there, but we're just not hurting about it. So we have detached from it. All right. The next steps after that, that's the whole rest of the healing journey, right? How do we now diffuse the bomb? How do we now see what the bomb is all about if we are interested in that? How do we not let that type of bomb back in our life again? That's the rest of the journey. All right. Okay. Well, I really like the dissection of that word. As you can tell, I have such enjoyment about it. And I hope that you have a day full of no aches or full of gentle release of aches. And that's what I hope for you today. All right. Have a great day. I will see you again.